y'all, welcome to my channel. So last time we talked about first trimester symptoms and I told you that I was a little bit nauseous. I had great news that we were having a girl, but I told you that I was emotional. You know, there was a number of symptoms that I experienced in the first trimester. So now I'm towards the end of the second trimester and I have some very interesting things that I want to add in. Some things got better, but also a new influx of symptoms came in too. So, in the first trimester, I was tired. So I'm still tired. I'm maybe even more tired now that I'm like going towards the third trimester. I'm about 27.5 weeks right now. So I'm about to cross over. But yes, so I am tired, but now I can have coffee, which is my favorite thing to drink. And I am looking for, you know, some alternatives because I like to drink coffee throughout the day, but you really can only have about 16 ounces a day. So I tried this chicory root coffee. Well, it wasn't really coffee, but it just tastes like coffee. It's like a root herbal drink. But then I read that, you know, you cannot have that while you're pregnant. So I'm gonna verify that when I go to my doctor's appointment this week. But for now, I'm just gonna set it aside and just have my 2 cups of coffee in the morning and, you know, just have to push through without the taste of coffee for the rest of the day. And I mean, it shouldn't be so hard. I mean, the beginning of the first trimester, I couldn't drink coffee at all. It was literally no point of me drinking it because I would just be just as tired. Another symptom that I felt basically as soon as the second trimester began was dizziness. I mean, I would be in the middle of sleep, like dead sleep, and like be woken up out of my sleep because I felt so dizzy. And one time it went on for like an hour or more, which, you know, I found out later that was due to dehydration. And I feel like I drink a lot of water, but it just seems like it's never enough. So it's not been as bad lately. I don't know if it's because I'm more careful about my water intake, but I'm definitely not experiencing it as severely as before. And it wasn't really like when I got up out of bed like other people talk about. It really would just seem random to me. Actually, I mentioned this in the last video, these rashes. So they came more and more often in the second trimester. I only had it like once in the first trimester, but I don't know, it's just like I went like a whole month of, you know, it just being these itchy bumps on my legs. And it would start off like a bug bite, like I said before, and then get bigger. And it would always be on my legs. And I could actually feel on my shins like the bumps. And so they did eventually go away. I had to change my lotion to Eucerin healing lotion, and I bought some itch lotion as well to help take it away, and it hasn't been as much of a problem. And I'm not sure what kind of rash this was. I don't know if it's like heat bumps, you know, or if it's pups. I didn't really go get it checked out, but it's better. So other symptom was mood swings. So I was already going through mood swings in the first trimester. It's just the same now, you know, emotional ups and downs. But I will say that lately I've been feeling better. I've been feeling more motivated to get things done. I've been feeling more creativity, and I also think that I'm nesting. I have 3 more months before the baby gets here, but I'm ready to just like haul out this entire room that I'm in right now. This will be our nursery, which is my office. Move things around, get new stuff, get beautiful flowers and purple and different girly colors. I'm just excited. You know, I've always wanted to have a girl. I love my baby boy, don't get me wrong, but you know, little girls, you want to dress them up and make them look all pretty and make them, you know, you dress like twins. So I'm really looking forward to that and trying not to go crazy planning and spending money unnecessarily, because you really don't need that much when the baby first gets here. And also, like I said, just feeling very motivated to just accomplish different things, fun things like this video. Another symptom that I experienced was aches. So I did experience it to a certain extent in the first trimester, but like now it's kind of no joke. She sits really low, and so it just feels like she's so low that it's almost dragging on the floor. And I'm exaggerating, but that's what it feels like. My pelvis and the backside has been sore. Like I'll be walking in the grocery store, and you know, I felt like I could barely walk. But finally, I realized, because I had stopped wearing my pregnancy belt not too far into the second trimester, because I didn't really need it after a while. But now I really need it, and I had to actually upgrade to like a full 3-piece pregnancy belt to lift this baby up, which has helped tremendously. So I'm really happy that somebody invented pregnancy belts, because I could not walk, at least not far. Yeah, I still do feel aches though, like back aches. You know, I push through. It's not always overwhelming. Which reminds me of another symptom that I've had. I don't think it's Braxton Hicks, because it's not like stopping and going, but I am feeling like a constant, well, sometimes a constant tightening in my belly. And the only thing that helps is when my husband massages my belly.
Like the massager doesn't work, me doing it doesn't work. He just has the perfect touch.
It's strong enough, and he can get like all around,
especially the top of my stomach.
So I really think that it's, you know, just her position, because sometimes she'll move and I'll feel very light. One night it was pretty bad, just because I was really stressed that day. My son, he's going through the 2s going into the 3s, and he's going through that autonomy stage. And trying to chase after him and, you know, make sure he's not running off somewhere he's not supposed to be, and, you know, the nose and everything, like it really stressed me out. And so I was afraid that like maybe I underwent too much stress, you know, because there's other symptoms going on while you're pregnant and you don't know what's what. So then on top of that, my belly was tightening, and it just seemed like it was going longer. So I had called the hospital to make sure I was not going in labor. And thankfully, the doctor, the nurse said that it was most likely just the baby's position, because of the fact that the tightening wasn't going off and on like a contraction. So speaking of the baby moving.
Oh my goodness.
In the second trimester, the beginning of the trimester, this baby moved so much. I mean, I felt like she must have been swimming in there, because her movements were just so big. I mean, and you know, it's cute, you know, when they first start, you know, kicking you, but when it gets, when they start kicking hard and it's like constant,
it's slightly annoying.
Especially because I felt like she was telling me that she was uncomfortable, and I really feel like that's the case, because I would move and she would stop kicking me. So, and it would just be, it felt like it was nonstop of big giant movements and kicks and things. And so, I mean, I'm happy to know that she is active, she's alive, you know, but I'm just saying it was a little much. And so when I went to the last ultrasound, the nurse or the ultrasound technician was telling me that she's like very, very active. And so I could actually see how active she was in the ultrasound, and she's pretty active. So I'm hoping that that may not be a sign of how she's gonna be when she's born, because 2 active ones, whew, the Lord's gonna have to give me some grace. But I'm still excited to meet her. I'm still excited for what, you know, joy she's gonna bring, in addition to my son. So another symptom that I experienced was heartburn, or it's either heartburn or acid reflux. And I did experience this in my last pregnancy with my son, and it was actually much worse. So I'm grateful that it's not as bad, but I still do get it and have to kind of sit up, you know, and I don't really eat spicy foods, so I don't really know what triggers it, but I do get it, and I feel like Tums doesn't really work. But I mean, I push through because it doesn't happen every night, but it does happen some nights. Cravings. So this may sound weird. I did not get the pickle craving that, you know, that a lot of people talk about, but I have been craving burgers at least once a week. Okay, I gotta get a burger and some fries once a week. And then on top of that, ice cream, my favorite ice cream, cookies and cream ice cream. And so unfortunately, at the beginning of the trimester, I was kind of going crazy with the sweets and the ice cream and the burgers. And so I gained a little bit much to be where I was in that trimester. So thankfully I did mellow out, and I'm eating healthier most of the time. So, you know, the doctor said it was fine, just don't do that again. So, but I mean, I still will eat a burger, but I just can't be eating, you know, junk like every day throughout the week, because it just makes you want more and more junk. So, yeah, so let me stick to my salads for lunch. Another symptom that I experienced was nausea, still. So, but it mostly happens when I'm tired. So in the first trimester, it would just happen every day, you know, for a certain period of time. But, you know, now, and not really as much the past like 2-3 weeks, but, you know, I would experience it only when I'm tired, which was weird. So that just meant like it was time to go to sleep. Talking in my sleep. I know that sounds funny, but this happened in my pregnancy with my son as well. Thankfully, not as much. This has only happened about 2 or 3 times this time, but it does happen. And when I realized it's happened the next day, it's so hilarious because my husband is trying to figure out what it is I'm talking about. Something has scared me. I've told him that he was the one scaring me, talking to me. So I don't know what that's about, but thankfully it only happens sometimes. I mean, you know, I heard that people get weird dreams, but no, I'm just talking in my sleep. So I don't know what the purpose of that is, but that was one of my symptoms. So another symptom that, you know, I know we don't like to talk about on here is discharge, but it's gonna happen. You're gonna get discharged, you know, when you're pregnant. So, but we don't have to like, you know, hone in on that. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the positives, the wins. So hair growth. Okay, so my hair has finally decided to grow back to the original length that it was when I was a teenager. So length, oh, you probably can't see it that well, but here's a little length check, okay? So when I was a teenager, I moved all the way across America to a different state and could not find a hairdresser. So I decided I was gonna cut my ends.
Not knowing what in the world I was doing.
So I decided to cut my ends, but I literally cut my hair, which was down my back, to the middle of my back, to like right here, okay? Like to like, just basically just most of it just gone, at least from where it was. And so Unfortunately, it took years to actually grow back, but I'm grateful. It took 2 babies, you know, but 2 babies, 10 years, but thank God he blessed me with the hair growth. And it's thick, it's been healthy. It's like, it takes, you know, a while for it to really get dirty, because that's another issue that I've had is, you know, my hair makes its own oil. So, you know, it will only last like a few days. My hair is straight, and that usually lasts like 3 days, but it's lasted like a whole week and a half. This is probably the last day that I'm able to wear it out before it's like too oily for me. But yeah, so when hair growth and hair shininess, yeah. And so let me see, I gotta check my notes, y'all, because so speaking of which, that's the other symptom.
Mommy brain.
And let me just type one more thing on here before I forget. Okay, so mommy brain. Now, I've been dealing with mommy brain since the first baby, but it seems like it is extended, or it's gotten worse. I don't want to say worse, like it's okay. Probably gonna have to cut that part, but mommy brain has increased, and I cannot remember back to a whole bunch of stuff. Like, and you know what? It just comes with the territory. I just pray that God restores my memory and my focus. That was another thing that I was having trouble with, you know, but that gets restored once the baby comes. Which reminds me of clumsiness. Like, if y'all could just see, you guys would probably be laughing at me. I mean, I'm literally like knocking over stuff, dropping stuff. It's like I have butterfingers. You know, it's embarrassing. And but it's real. It's real. So hopefully that one leaves too, because, you know, you don't want to break your phone. You don't want to knock over the wrong things, okay? Like, you need to be able to have a firm grip on things, all right? Just like you need a firm grip in life, all right? One thing I didn't mention for my first trimester was acne. I really broke out that first trimester, but by the second trimester, it cleared up. So hopefully if you guys are experiencing acne, like hopefully the same thing will happen to you where it clears up, you know, by the next trimester. So that's all that I have for you. I hope that you guys are doing well. Everyone who's going through pregnancy, I hope that you are enjoying it, that you're taking time to relax, that you're taking time to, you know, have fun, and, you know, get as much sleep as you can, because when the baby comes, I mean, they're going to be keeping us up even more than now. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, comment so that my YouTube videos can be more present. All right.